Officials in Woodford County are looking for people they say are shooting cats with BB guns.
How investigators say social media helped lead them to a disturbing discovery at a Whitley County home.
American Pharaoh could make history in the Belmont Stakes this weekend, and a Central Kentucky farm has a special connection to the horse.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 6.
Good evening and thanks for being here with us. Investigators have an alert tonight for pet owners in Woodford County. They say someone is using a BB gun to shoot cats.
And a few of those cats have died. Others have suffered serious injuries. And now investigators are stepping up their efforts to track down the shooter. Sam Smith talked to someone whose cat was shot. It's our top story at 6.
Folks that live in the Lanesview neighborhood expect their pets to be safe when outdoors. That hasn't been the case recently.
And she came in dragging her leg.
Jocelyn Roper's cat, Cinderella, was shot with a BB gun.
And that's what, it's not fun and games. You're taking a life. It's a life, no matter how you look at it.
She rushed Cinderella to get medical treatment like she would any other member of her family.
So they feel like it was deliberate because the way that the BB had fragmented bones in her spine, they feel like it had to have been up close range, not like a stray bullet or something like that.
While Cinderella is recovering at the animal hospital, Roper's at work, worrying about her cat and how her kids will handle what happened so soon after a death in the family.
We just lost my husband, and this was really hard for the kids, and so to think we were going to lose one of their pets 5 weeks later, it's been really hard.
Cinderella may lose the use of one of her back legs. It could have been worse, though. 2 cats were killed by BB guns in this neighborhood. There have been 6 cat shootings in this area in total this year. Officials think there could be more.
That we're out there looking, and our community's pulling together, and I hope they stop so that nobody else has to go through what we went through.
In Woodford County, Sam Smith, WKYT.
Animal Control will have extra patrols in the Lanesview neighborhood.
A horrifying discovery at a Whitley County home. Investigators say they found many dogs, some of them dead and others starving. Police have now charged the homeowners with animal cruelty. As Phil Pendleton tells us, investigators say they found out what was going on because of social media. But first, a warning, you may find parts of this story disturbing.
He's going to get medical treatment, and then they're going to adopt him out.
The animal control officer calls him lucky because he says he was lucky to survive.
Right now, there's 2 dead dogs and 1 in the cage with the 2 dead dogs.
Sheriff COLAN HARRELL says animal groups made the gruesome discovery of skeletal remains and other starving dogs, and they put that video on social media. Police were called, and the owner, Charles Wilson, was cited.
Cited with cruelty to animals in the 2nd degree.
But he was not arrested or taken to jail.
The reason that we didn't physically arrest him, his wife is in a nursing home in Williamsburg, and he is there now. And we felt this should be the mannerism that we handle the case.
In fact, last month, police were called to the home, and they say they found Wilson's bedridden daughter not being cared for. She was removed from the home, but Wilson wasn't charged then, per advice from the Commonwealth's attorney.
Decided that they call the social services in reference to the 27-year-old daughter of this individual.
Officials say the owner is cooperating with authorities and has agreed to surrender the remaining dogs to animal control. In Whitley County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Well, as for that dog you saw right there, Lucky, he is now heading to Louisville for care. The group Arrow Fund is paying for it, and Lucky already has a new owner.
3 people face charges in the case, but today Lexington police said they think a 4th person could also be involved in the murder of a pizza delivery driver. Police testified during a hearing for Trey Relford this morning. He was arrested last week. Relford, Cameron McClellan, and Antonio Lewis are all charged with murder and robbery. The victim, Salahuddin Jitmud, was killed in April. Police say Relford and a 4th person who has not been named placed an order for pizza and planned to rob the driver. But they say Relford claimed he was waited in a car, and the 4th person actually killed Jitmud. The judge sent Relford's case on to the grand jury. We're tracking a crime alert in Lexington neighborhood tonight. Police say someone robbed a woman at knife point. It happened overnight along Summerhill Drive off Kennesaw Drive. Police say the victim told them she was standing outside her home when a man walked up to her, put a knife to her throat, and demanded money. Police say the woman threw down some money and her phone and then ran back inside the house. They say the robber tried to break in but ran off after the victim called 911. Neighbors tell us that they are worried.
I've never seen that going on around here, but it's not a shock, but it's crazy. It do give me concern, and I will be in the house more often.
Lexington police say they later found the stolen phone along with the money at a nearby bike path, but they have not found the robber. Police say he's in his 20s. He wore ski gloves, a black bandana, dark pants, and a black shirt at the time of the robbery.
A former security guard at Buffalo Trace Distillery is now admitted to helping in a bourbon theft ring. Leslie Wright pled guilty to facilitation to receive stolen property. As part of a plea deal, Franklin County prosecutors say she's agreed to testify against others in the case to avoid jail time. Police say Wright received $800 for allowing bourbon barrels to be stolen from the distillery. 10 people were charged in the ring. Police say more than $100,000 worth of bourbon was stolen from 2 distilleries.
Tonight, the community is helping the family of a Lexington woman killed by a falling tree. Investigators say in April, Kathy Carlson was camping with her husband and 3 children in Powell County when a storm knocked down a tree onto the family's tent. Kathy died. Her husband was seriously injured. A benefit for the Carlson family began just a few minutes ago at Meadowthorpe Elementary School in Lexington. Food sales and a silent auction are raising money for the family. The benefit continues until 9 tonight.
We are heading into the weekend with sunshine and warm temperatures, and that should continue for our Saturday. Meteorologist Jim Caldwell has an early look at your forecast.
Ended up being a pretty nice end of the week, too, as well. We're dealing with some of those low, mid-80s throughout the entire area here in central and eastern Kentucky, especially. We look at our day. We'll just kind of go back to early this morning, and you can see that we started off nice and clear. I think that's how we start tomorrow morning off as well. But you see, as we progress through the day, the clouds increased toward the afternoon, and especially here over the past couple hours, you can see a lot more cloud cover coming into play. That's very typical for summertime to get in on more of those clouds during the afternoon and evening hours. And there's what it looked like at 4 o'clock. You can see those clouds kind of building up off in the distance. Didn't really impact temperatures at all, though. We'd already gotten off to the races here with those low, mid-80s still hanging out with us. 83 in Lexington, down the road in London, 84, 82 in Moorhead right now. So plenty of warmth showing up all over the place for us here on this Friday. Still tracking a little bit of shower and storm activity just to our north, watching for some of that to maybe drop in, but eventually completely dissipate, though. Just not a lot of energy trying to push those showers and storms too deep into our area tonight. Here's a 24-hour planner. Nice evening, around 78 at 8 o'clock. You go through the overnight into the day tomorrow. We'll keep a small chance mention around, especially for our zones in the south. Daytime highs around 81 degrees tomorrow. We will take a closer look at this coming up for you in just a few minutes.
Tomorrow, American Pharaoh will race for a shot at history. If he wins the Belmont Stakes, he'll be the first Triple Crown winner in nearly 40 years.
Old Friends Equine Center in Scott County has a special connection to the horse. One of its residents came just short of a Triple Crown. Mike Linden has the story new at 6.
No horse has won the Triple Crown since 1978.
Hi, sweetheart, huh?
When the horses come down the stretch at the Belmont Stakes tomorrow, one horse living in Georgetown will be watching closely.
Interestingly, Bob Baffert, who trains American Pharaoh, who will be running for the Triple Crown on Saturday, also trained Silver Charm for that campaign.
Silver Charm spends his days retired from racing at Old Friends Equine Center in Scott County. In the late 90s, he was in the same position American Pharaoh is in now.
Silver Charm won the Kentucky Derby in 1997, as well as the Preakness Stakes.
Like many horses before and after him, Silver Charm fell just short of racing's holy grail.
He was one of the most promising Triple Crown contenders. He did lose the Belmont to Touch Gold, and it was by a very small margin.
Grisolia says Silver Charm, like the rest of us, will be watching from home and rooting for his teammate to win this weekend.
Everyone here at Old Friends certainly has their fingers crossed and are rooting for our American Pharaoh and rooting for the connections of Silver Charm, Bob Baffert, and others. So we certainly hope it'll happen.
In Scott County, Mike Linden, WKYT.
The jockey riding American Pharaoh, Victor Espinoza, rode California Chrome last year and War Emblem in 2002. Both of those horses won the Derby and the Preakness, but lost the Belmont Stakes. Thoroughbred expert Dan Rosenberg says American Pharaoh will fetch a high stud fee once his racing career ends. The horse will stand stud at Ashford Farm in Versailles. Right now, the highest stud fee is $300,000 per live foal, but experts say American Pharoah is already worth a lot of money even if he doesn't win another race.
Look at what they can earn in the breeding shed versus what they potentially could earn on the racetrack if they won everything all year long. The difference is staggering, and anybody making a rational choice would elect to retire the horse.
Rosenberg says at one point stud fees went as high as $1 million. He says factors like racing record, a horse's pedigree, and looks all play roles in a stud fee.
Lexington has received a $200,000 grant to clean up contamination at the old Fayette County Courthouse. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency has given the city one of its brownfield grants. The grants are designed to help clean up environmental contamination so property can be reused. City leaders say the money will be used to address lead-based paint, mold, and asbestos at the old courthouse. The courthouse has been closed in recent years due to structural and environmental problems.
Follow WKYT online at WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
This summer, athletes from around the world will gather in the U.S. for the Special Olympics World Games.
And today, the torch being used for that event made a stop in central Kentucky. The Toyota plant in Georgetown hosted the cross-country Unified Torch Relay. Toyota USA is the official vehicle sponsor of the Games. Volunteers say the Special Olympics help so many people.
From the standpoint of the athletes that participate in it, I think it gets them into society that for so many years they have been left out of, and it gets them ingrained into seeing something that they normally don't get to do, and that's participate in sporting events with other people.
The Special Olympic World Games will be held in Los Angeles. Meanwhile, the opening ceremonies of the Kentucky Special Olympics Summer Games will be held tonight on the EKU campus in Richmond.
The ministry building a Noah's Ark theme park in Grant County is inviting people to get a closer look at construction. Answers in Genesis says you can come and watch work going on at the site. Workers have finished the foundation and the wood for the ark is arriving. The ministry has set up a viewing spot nearby. The cost is $20 per vehicle or $10 for members of the Creation Museum. The park is scheduled to open next year. People living in a Lexington retirement home are inviting everyone to visit their garden. It's something the Ashland Terrace Retirement Home does every year. Roses and vegetables are only for people living there, but for a small donation, you can take home different kinds of flowers or herbs.
I think that it's real hard for older people to give back to the community, and I think we're all glad to be able to do that.
All donations for flowers and herbs will be used by the retirement home residents to refill the garden for next year.